Hey you, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. It has been a good while since I uploaded a video, and even longer since I made an Animal Crossing video. Life has just been busy and stressful, and I kept putting off making this island tour video because of it. But now I do feel finally ready to share my island with you. It is however still summertime on my island, since I did not make any changes for autumn, and since I really liked my designs best at summer, I decided to go back to July for this tour and for the dream address. As of right now, my Switch tells me that I have played more than 730 hours, but not all of those hours have been spent on this final design. I had to try and fail a couple of times before I was really happy with the result. So at the end, I do of course hope this gives you some inspiration and some ideas for your island too. Now without further ado, let me get started on my island tour of Blossom. To make the tour a bit more fun and interactive, maybe you want to follow along in my dream address during this tour, so let's get the map out first. On my island I have two characters, the one that I called Serafina and just a random name, Nilos. Nilos? I think we would pronounce it as Nilos. Then there are the 10 villages. I have Francine, Tia, Eric, Diana, Wendy, Tipper, Bluebear, Judy, Chrissy and Gala. And then of course you have the dream address at the bottom if you want to follow along during this tour. As for my map itself, I'm not sure if it's that spectacular. I just don't know. I'm a perfectionist. I never really know when my work is good or not. But you can already see that I kind of went for the straight rivers around my town square. And this was definitely on purpose to kind of get this channel feel, I guess, but you will see that a bit closer when we start walking around. As for right now, you can see my little arrow in the bottom, and that is of course not marked, but the little arrow at the bottom, I am near the entrance area from my airport. I designed that before dream addresses became a thing, but if you want to follow along, it's just straight down from there when you arrive at my resident service, there in the back. And this is my little waiting area, by the way, just so I have mentioned it, because I'm definitely gonna forget otherwise. Because I want to go this way first, to the right. But yeah, you've already seen my entrance, not fountain, waterfall of course, I'm sorry. It doesn't really work that much since now everyone will arrive at my resident service, but I will keep that in mind when I start working on my next island designs, which by the way will be winter designs, because I cannot bring enough time to the game to make the autumn designs that I wanted to make, so I'm just gonna skip autumn all along and yeah, after a little while start villager hunt for my winter island instead, because I just don't have the time and I don't want to stress with the autumn. Because I know I have all these great designs in my head, but I can't make it work in time. And to be honest, Halloween doesn't really get celebrated where I live right now. So yeah, it isn't the biggest loss for me, but I get why everyone else is so hyped about it. It looks really cute with all the autumn islands. To the right here, from my entrance, we have one of my first residence areas. I have one with 4 residents, then one with 3, then one with 2, and then one single house on its own. But these 4 kind of form this street that end in my own house at the end. So this walkway was exactly what I was planning for when I designed this street in Happy Island Designer. It's an internet app, I guess. And I'm really glad how it turned out. So first off we have Chrissy, the pink bunny, and she did get of course a very pink garden. And I will show the beach in a little bit. And of course in this street I placed a lot of random stuff just to make it a bit more cozy, and I chose to place the palm trees here as well. It was kind of meant to be this Beverly Hills street feel, I guess. yeah, that is kind of what I was inspired by, at least. And it is the only street that will have palm trees. The rest of the palm trees are just at the beaches. Then next up to Chrissy's house is Francine. I really struggle to pronounce her name and I'm really sorry for it, but it's just, I don't know, I keep struggling with it. But she is the blue bunny with the white polka dots. She does look really cute together with Chrissy. And both her house designs fitted perfectly for what I had planned out in this street. And of course, since she is a blue bunny, she did get a lot of blue stuff that kind of should remind you of her. I mean, I guess she wanted to be some kind of designer or something. I kind of struggle to keep track of all their dreams, but yeah, if the characters did have specific dreams, I sometimes tried to place some items for it in the yard, which now meant I placed this antique sewing machine outside, which isn't really where it's supposed to be, but I don't know, it looked good. And then she has this little alley area as well, just to throw some trash and keep her bike and, I don't know, that kind of homey stuff, I guess. And then the third house is Tia, the elephant. Her dreams were kind of, I don't know, not possible to recreate or whatever. I just chose to make it a bit more homey and cozy to sit here. And most of my villagers do have a lot of seating options to pick from, just because I kind of find it cute when they sit a little bit here and there, and yeah. Last resident in this street is Bluebear, and she is a blue bear, but I did kind of kept it a bit more with white stuff here, just because I didn't really want to repeat Francine's yard here, since that was all blue too. And I really like how these flowers look when they are white and blue as well. And then at the end of the street is my own house, and this was the best coloring that I could find that could match the 4 other houses that I've already showcased. So yeah, blue with pink. And I placed a couple of those flamingos here because I didn't really find any room anywhere else on the island, but I really love them. And I gave myself some pink and white flowers just to kind of repeat the fact that this street started with Chrissy, which was the pink bunny with the pink flowers, and now it ends with my house with also a bit more pink, and then all the blue stuff is in the middle. So yeah, that's kind of my way of thinking. And then this leads to my little alley. All of them have this little road going straight to the beach as well, with trash cans and fake mailboxes. I did choose to remove my mailbox and place down a tiny library just because I did it with every other house and I wanted to look similar, and I really suck at keeping my mailbox empty, and I didn't want to have a dream address where the mailbox would just be beeping all the time because it is full. So yeah, I have the mailbox in my inventory instead. Then there is my little crafting area. I haven't really had any products out there. It's more just to be quickly able to craft something if I need it. And behind here is a little shortcut, but yeah, it wasn't really meant to be a part of the tour, just so instead of needing to go all the way around or whatever, I did make a little shortcut on the back, but we will not be taking that. We will be going down here and look at the beaches. These beaches, again, I'm in July, it's still summer on my island, so I just kept it to, I don't know, mostly just simple. Gave it a lot of, laying or sunbathing options. So we have the towels in the back. I guess this is what I called my own private little beach, since it is the area closest to my house, I guess. And then down here I made these this area, and I think there are 3 of them, 2. And number 3 is down here. Those are kind of meant to look a bit more like, I don't know, for the residents, the private beaches, but also a bit more like it's all kind of meant to be for the tourists, so it's meant to be repeated. And I just kind of make some tiny difference by either changing up the fruit bowls and putting down slippers and all that fun stuff. And as you also might have noticed, I did use some plants on my beaches beside the palm trees. I mostly used the weeds, the white cosmos, and the green mums. And the yellow mums are the ones that I plucked. There we go, plucked. Just so they would have these green stems as well. And I don't know, I really like how that looked. A bit more like the dunes, I guess. And this area is a bit more family friendly with just a kiddie pool and I don't know, just some random stuff, I guess. Here you can see the yellow. I didn't really want the yellow on my beach, but just to have some more plants instead of trying to breed more green, I just plucked the yellow ones. There's also a bridge down here, but again, that is also kind of meant to just be a shortcut. The main road is kind of this area, and then in the back is kind of the private beach area, I guess. If we go back here, we might as well look at more beaches here. I see my shells have respawned, but so be it. This is the pool area. Again, another kiddie pool, the normal pool. A lot of slippers and a towel basket and I don't know, all that kind of stuff, I guess. And then there is these, this garden post, I guess. Yeah, I just thought it was fitting to have near the pool and near the more visiting area, visitor friendly area, I guess. And then you have the playground here. I really wanted the playground on my island, but I couldn't seem to find any place on it, so I had to move it to the beach instead, so yeah. Right behind here we have my Nick's granny, and still as messy as when I made it. So yeah, just a bunch of random stuff. Next to it is of course Abel's sisters. I did intentionally place them here because they are kind of the shortest way to the airport. In case I want to have visitors that want to buy stuff, it doesn't take you to go all the way across my island to find them. In the back here, if you did follow me through the dream address, then this is where it started. This is my resident services. And around my resident services I placed fences and trees and bushes, and yeah, in front of those trees and bushes I placed a lot of random stuff. Most of them are these market signs, and then in the middle of them are either random stuff like this statue or seating options. That's kind of the system I used all around, at least the town-like areas of my island, I guess. The forest area is a bit different. But yeah, that's how also why I designed this road myself, just for this purposes only, so I could have these plant boxes around with different stuff in front of it. So if we go this way, we have the bridge as a shortcut back. Of course, these people are standing in my way to chat, and then the other way around, yeah, it's kind of the same. And I also wanted to kind of balance out these street lights, since there are just 2 of them on this area and you can never really make them match. So I placed them out of balance on purpose. And right in the back of, right behind my resident services, we have my little Diagon Alley. I just wanted to have a little Harry Potter reference on my island. It's just like this bookstore that, I don't know, sells the school uniform and everything you might need to go to Hogwarts, I guess. We didn't have any owls, but we have at least some birds, and yeah. And of course you have the chess area as well, with maybe the telephone cell. Yeah. Next up is the cafe, Blossom Cafe. Villagers can't really enter through here, but that's just the way I chose to do it, I guess. You can again sit here and the villagers can, I don't know, interact in that way, and they can sit on the ends of this couch as well, I guess. As for the back wall, it's kind of meant to be a pretend building, but it's not, I guess. So I really wanted to make this wall to look like there was a building with windows that are showcasing the cakes, but we don't really have any buildings to go behind, and I didn't really have the room to continue that fake building either. First off, I'm gonna go back down a bit to the Blossom Market. Again, this was an area I really wanted to have on my island, just an area to dump some fruits and plants and, I don't know, make it a bit like a cozy area. So we got this plant corner, fruit corner. This area I didn't really know what to do with, so it became like a fruit juice corner, I guess. And then you have the ice cream. And this leads back to Nook's Granny with, again, some random stuff with the bushes and trees. Like the street oracle and the popcorn machine. And again, enough seating options and light street lamps and all that kind of stuff. Going back up first, we are going to visit the museum, I guess. There are two entrances to the museum. You have that bridge and the bridge here to the left. The bridge here to the left is meant to be the entrance and the other one is meant to be the exit. And if you have seen my design video about my museum, you know there's a lot going on here, including some outdoor exhibits, or whatever I'm supposed to call them. And the queue line, of course. I did keep the queue line open here just to, I don't know, escape a bit quicker. But in my fantasy or in my imagination, this is just a queue line you have to follow to, I guess, pay for your ticket and then you can visit the museum. So more outdoor exhibits, of course. And I use a lot of waterfalls and mountains to kind of separate the different areas from each other, but yeah, they don't really have any point or anything to do with the museum, but they still look good, I think. So you have the museum, of course. I'm not gonna go in there, of course. And you have the Dutch exhibit here, some more fountains, the space exhibit, I guess. And back here is my little hidden dig site with more waterfalls. Then in the back here you have the pier with a lot of, I guess, fun activities. Not that we really can do anything with them, but it's meant to look like some, I don't know, fun park or anything like that. Where this stuff is the colorful fun stuff. And back here is kind of the pirate section with actually red here. I hope he is here as well in the dream code. As far as I know, he should be. And then we can just, I don't know, go back again. And this stairs is meant to be the exit, so you can go back over this bridge again. So you can of course enter the museum the way you want, but that's kind of how I intended it to be, to have one entrance and one exit. Then here is my failed rock garden. I didn't really think this one through, because when I designed it, I was like, okay, I wait to the last part when everything else is taken, and then I try to spawn the rocks in the right place. But it turned out, even without, of course, all this pathing, because the pathing I did just recently, since I gave up on the rocks. But when I removed this pathing, there are just some fossils that spawn, but the rocks refuse to spawn because I guess there's too little space for them to spawn on. I don't know. I just gave up. I don't really care about it anyway. I really wished I had all 5 of them or 6 of them here, but I don't know. It serves its purpose, I guess, with both rock statues, and yeah, I still like how this turned out anyway. Continuing on, you can go 2 ways, but I guess no. We're gonna visit Diana and Judy first, my 2 favorite villages. Again, to fill up some empty space, I placed a lot of random stuff, including this cute little waterfall. I really do like this spot. It is a really cute spot to take pictures as well. Yeah. And it connects to Diana's and Judy's home, which is up here. So to the left here we have Diana. And I made her garden mostly in purple tones and natural tones. And then you got Judy in the back here. Again, I had some empty space, so I just filled it up with some random stuff, including another fountain, because I kind of like that item, but finding a spot for it is sometimes hard. And then here is Judy with her little moon hiding in the back and her little, I don't know, moon chair and all that kind of cute stuff. I still haven't caught her sitting in it, so I'm still waiting for that day to happen. And when it does, I hope I get it on picture. As for their beach, I guess. It's kind of a secret beach, I guess. I don't know. Villagers can't really reach it because I didn't really place a bridge here. There was too little space to place a proper bridge, and I might have used all the bridges already, I don't know. But I really wanted my river end to have some kind of connection to something, so it became this tiny little waterfall instead. And again, here on my beach I placed some random stuff to make it lived in, used, I don't know, used by families. So you have these two areas where you can just sunbathe and relax and drink something. And then here in the back is the secret spa. It's not that secret, of course, but since no one really can reach it, and you need to know where to look for it, but it's here. It's just a little relaxing spot for whomever finds their way here. And yeah, it's not really that much special. I just wanted to fill up the island or the beaches with at least something, but I wasn't really in the mood to get too creative with them. Now, there is one little Easter egg on my island. You might have seen it if you did see my video about Judy's garden, I guess. I believe it was that video. But if you follow this little path to the back, you will find this memorial area for Pico. I did have her on my island, but I had to let her go to have an empty slot to try and find Judy. And it made me really sad because she was the first one to give me her pictures, so I was like, okay, I want to use some of the bamboo and those pagode towers, or whatever they are pronounced like, and some of the bamboo stuff items as well, so I made this tiny little corner, since I really didn't want to place it anywhere else on my island anyway, so yeah. It might be a bit loud here as well, since there are a lot of waterfalls, and for some reason they have to be really loud in this game. Now, next up I want to show you my farm area. And for that we need to go all the way back to Nook's Granny, I guess. That's kind of the easiest way to showcase the entire farm area. So on my farm area we have 3 residents again. We have Tipper, who will be the first to visit. Then there is Gala, and then there is Wendy. Again, these houses were, I think, my first Animal Crossing video that I put out with my farm IDs. So this is Tipper's house. She has her own little garden. But she also has the entire flower farm, which I hope it has every single color of flower this game has to offer. Or at least almost everyone. Did kind of ran out of space for some of them, but it was just meant to have them at least here, so I could, dig them up and clone them somewhere else if I needed to. And yeah, I placed just some random items around it to make it a bit more cozy. Again, here too is the street with some seating options or other decorations to kind of make it a bit more cozy. I really love this spot here. Now it starts to be a bit too dark for it, I guess. I did save the dream address a bit early on the day, so maybe you can still see the second bridge a bit more properly then. But I really like this shot. So continuing on this road, we have of course Gala's house. And again, she has her own little yard space. But she is also the one who keeps track of the fruit orchard, I guess. I didn't really want to make a too big of a fruit orchard because that was kind of a waste of space. I don't really have it to sell, I just have it for the aesthetics. So yeah, since I was running out of space fast, I just placed it in 3 of each fruit and then just in these rows. Yeah. It's kind of simple, but I don't know, it kind of serves its point, I guess. Then there is a little road towards the beach here, but we are first going to continue to Wendy. And Wendy is the island's beekeeper. And I really like how this little extra yard section turned out. It is kind of useless, I guess. But that really looks good just for that reason only. And then you have Wendy's house here. I really loved her house colors. It's one of the few houses I think matches the iron fence that is always blue. So I really wanted to keep her on my island just for that purpose only, nearly. Plus I do kind of like Wendy too. And she did get a lot of yellow flowers. Now before I go down my beach at that end, I want to take you to the forest. And here is actually also my campsite. So this area is not too big. I ran out of space quickly enough, but I really wanted to have a tiny bit of a cottage core feeling, even though it's not that perfect. So I made this forest area to house my campsite and to have a little hiking section, or at least the feeling that I have one. And then there is Eric, who lives here as well, the deer boy. So first off, I want to check out my campsite. So we have a little bridge going across, trying to fit all those bridges already. Kind of took up a lot of space, but I really love the aesthetics of it. So near the tent there are some sitting options and some small cooking options, and then of course you have the big bonfire over here with some marshmallows and hot dogs, and then some random stuff behind the tent. So those items you kind of see best when the tent isn't here, but for the dream address I really wanted to have a visitor here. You can of course fish in the river here. I'm not sure if there spawns any fish here normally, but I don't know, the villagers don't really bother about it, so yeah, they probably just gonna fish there no matter if there's fish or not. And then of course you have the waterfalls that are connected to the museum to kind of separate those areas, and I really like the aesthetics of that as well. And in the back here, you might already have seen a bit of it, is my stargazing area. Again, the space it took to kind of place this single bridge here, yeah, it kind of ruined all the designs of a stargazing area, but it's kind of cozy and little, and you can still sit here and gaze upon the stars, I guess. And then I kind of extended it towards the rock here, so we have the telescope in case someone wants to look at the stars that way. And some more sleeping options in case someone wants to sleep near the ocean instead of in a tent. Yeah. Then there is, just going back a bit, again, a lot of waterfalls going on. I'm really sorry if it is really loud to walk to, but I really love waterfalls. Going back over the bridge, we are back at the start of the hiking area. And behind Wendy's house is just, there's kind of a shortcut, but it is not, I don't know, it's not very practical to walk there, but the hiking area goes up here. And then you have this little grill area. I really like how these benches and table look together, so I really wanted to at least have one proper grill area on my island. That's why I made this area. It also has this little duck pond with, I guess, some fishing possibilities. You can sit down here and fish. And you could also sneak past right by here and I guess look all over Blossom. It's too bad they don't really work. It would have been fun to see Blossom from this angle, but I don't know. I still like to have the item there. And yeah, you can go around it, but again, it's not really intended to go do that, so yeah, it's a very tiny hiking area, but I love that at least some of my island has this foresty vibe. And then up here is Eric's home. Yeah, he used to live together with Diana, but I got Diana long before I even know about Eric, and Diana was meant to become Judy's best friend, and I wanted those two to live next to each other, so yeah, I thought Eric might be fine just alone in the forest area, enjoying nature and all that. Now last up are some more beaches that are to the left of my island. As you see, this isn't really a practical route, but it is possible. There's also a second road right in front of Wendy's house, to be honest. Yeah, we might as well look at the lighthouse first. Oh, I really love this spot and looking up. And I really like how the lighthouse area turned out. Again, these beaches are a bit with random stuff with both greenery, and I really liked placing the surfboards on this end of the island. And you can actually go up here and enjoy the view as well. So this is technically a second stargazing area, I guess. Or in this case, the sunset. Yeah. Yeah, to kind of connect the lighthouse with the land, I made this little deck area as well, and I really like this item from the fishing tournaments as well. It did fit quite perfectly with this area, I guess. Going back here, you have again just some more seating and sunbathing options. I really like how this fountain thing looks, or rock garden, I forgot what it's called. On the rocks at least, I really like how that looks, and luckily I could fit one here. I couldn't fit one on the other side of the island, so that's why there were some towels on it instead. Back here there is a second grill area. I don't know, it's a picnic and grill area. I really like having those kind of areas, and I really use them a lot in real life as well. There are a lot of beautiful places in Norway that have just the casual picnic places, and me and my family would often use them to just either bring us an one-time grill, so a grill we can throw away after use, or we will just take a regular picnic. So I really love placing them on my island as well, just for that purpose. Continuing here, we have I don't know, my tiny wedding area, I guess. There wasn't even room for the wedding art, so it became just an musical orchestra area, I don't know. So I placed all my favorite music items here. And these benches, because I bought 3 of them and they were in my way in my storage, so they got a space right here. Again, I ran out of space on this rock a bit too soon, so it's kind of unpractical again, but it serves its purpose and it gave them a place to be and made something interesting on the rocks as well, not only the classical towels and poolside beds and all that kind of things. Going down here, there's one little area of the beach is left in the down left corner, I guess. Again, this area we looked at just recently. Continuing down here, we have also, I almost forgot. The other side of the flower farm has these silos just to kind of, I don't know, separate this area from the beach, and there was this awkward little bump out anyway, so it fitted 3 silos perfectly. So it's kind of random, but I still liked how it looked. And then there is all the other random stuff down here. A lot of colorful stuff. And then here is the second residential house. And to this house I actually have the pier right here, or whatever I should call this area. This house, and I just came to think of that I didn't really show you my house, so we will go back and look at it soon, but this house was meant to be like this outdoor shop and be all guarded or meant to be towards fishing. So yeah, all the fishing stuff is right here, and there are some pretend diving suits for sale, and all the fishing tournament items can be found here, including this shed. Yeah. So if you want to do some fishing or some swimming, you can find items here and take a dive or whatever. As far as I know, you should be able to pick that up in the dream coat, and you can just go for a little swim. And then the last part of the beach, and again those shells have respawned so quickly. I swear I cleaned up my beaches before starting to record. But this area is again a bit random with surfboards, and I really liked having those. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, those. And this connects back to the road that leads past Tipper's house. So yeah, let's take a look inside this resident home first. This is the shop, as I mentioned. So the first area is very shop themed, to be honest. And I kept it very cabin-like, I guess. And yeah, I had just some random summary items that I wanted to hang and showcase on the wall. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. The other rooms are kind of, or this room is a bit more realistic, I guess, to the point that you can have it realistic, whilst these rooms are a bit more fun. They are indoors, but I really like the wallpaper. It makes it look like it is outdoors. And this is the fishing area, I guess. You can buy your fishing rods and whatever you need on your fishing trips. And the room on the right is, I guess, the place where you can go if you want to dive. Yeah, so it has all the, or not all, but some of the diving gear. I don't think I have that many goggles yet. I still haven't found them at my Able Sisters shop, but we have the surfboards, the shoes, and the suits. And I really like how this looks as well. It really ties the place a bit more together with the outdoors. I really like that it feels like there's this tiny little shop indoors, but it has these doors going to the outside deck that sells more fun stuff. In the back here it is something completely different. I just really wanted to use this wallpaper and this flooring. But this is kind of your camping room. If you want to buy some camping stuff, this is the place. I mean, I couldn't really put any tents for sale, but you have all the other stuff at least. And the upstairs and downstairs are a bit more meant towards the owner, I guess, so the owner can live here. So upstairs is the apartment area, and I really wanted to make it feel like an apartment. So yeah, we have the kitchen area, the tiny little living room with the TV, and a fireplace that isn't on, or was it on? Maybe it was on. And then of course you have the little sleeping area, and I made room for a cat here. And then there is this little toilet area with the shower and yeah, everything you should need to be able to live in this shop as well. Downstairs is more of the manager area, I guess. It's kind of more of a study, but at the same time also a bit more storage. So in here you can find all the fish on for aquariums, I guess. I picked some of my favorite ones. And then of course you have the study nook and yeah, some places for the trophies, but as you might see, I kind of gave up somewhere in the middle. So I really get annoyed that I never make it to the gold trophy when it comes to the houses. Neither of my houses have, but I'm just too lazy to just not cheat it, but you know, just dump all the items that I need to be able to complete it. And when it comes to the fishing tournament, I got a bit early bored as well. So I hope to get them one day, but yeah, for now there is some room for improvement and some room for new trophies eventually. Now, since I did forget to show you my other home that belongs to this character, I will go to that now as well. Okay, so if you're still following along and you want to check it out as well, I'm just gonna take a little sprint back. I see the sunset is changing for me now, so unfortunately it isn't as pretty as when I first began recording, but yeah, of course I had to forget my own house. That is, of course, all the way on the beginning of the tour. But yeah, I kept my house more of a homey theme. I mean, it's in the main street, so yeah, nothing too fancy, I guess. So yeah, here we go. This is my living and kitchen area. I didn't really place any dining area, but you have technically the stools right here. And I really love this wallpaper. It's the cafe curtain. It's definitely one of my favorites. And in the back here we have the bathroom area. And I kept that one very basic. So yeah, it's very black and white, but again, it serves its purposes, and I kind of like how it turned out with the items that I had. The other two rooms are, yeah, a bit more fancy, I guess. I mean, I'm using the cafe curtain in those as well, so yeah, that kind of spices up the room already. And this is my formal dining area, I guess. I really love the wedding table in this color. It gives some festive colors, I guess. Yeah. And then there is the room to the right. And I just kept that one as a study, a tiny study. Again, using the cafe curtain, it really feels bright and open. But yeah, again, I kind of kept it simple. I did hang some of the plaques on the wall as well for this house. But I didn't make it farther than silver when it comes to the house trophies, I guess. So yeah, that's how this one looks. Then there is, let's take upstairs first. Yeah, we're gonna go upstairs first. The last room is a bit different than the rest of the house, I guess. But this one is very pink and light, but also a lot of natural colors. And I really like how this one turned out. So it's kind of unpractical when the rooms are this big, but I don't know, just giving it the second seating area with TV options, I don't know. There are like 3 different options in this house to watch movies, so yeah, you can do whatever you want, nearly. It's kind of a bit overboard, but it's just how the way it turned out, I guess. And then there's the last room, a very different color theme, but it is our home cinema. So yeah, I placed the white panels here just to make one big white screen. And of this sofa piece, I still don't have the straight ones, but 2 corner pieces seem to do the trick anyways. And then I hang those music tracks on the wall as well, just a couple of ones that I felt like could have been movie posters. But yeah, that's actually my entire island. I'm sorry for the length of this video. If you made it this far, then big respect for you. I'm really sorry for the length, of course. And I hope you enjoyed it. And that you will enjoy the dream code as well. Let me know down in the comments if you have visited and what you thought of it, of course. For now, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I'm hoping to do more Animal Crossing content soon, especially when I start designing for winter. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out on that, definitely turn on those notifications. And I will see you in my next video, I hope. Bye bye!